Hi, I'm Michael Choi, and today we're going to discuss which strategy is best, to buy first or to sell first. Okay, so buy or sell first. Vendors are always thinking about this. This is one of the things that also prolongs or is the key attribute to their procrastination of putting the house up for sale. So if you can solve this and you can give them some clarity and some vision and some focus on this, then hopefully you'll get more listings and quicker. Okay, so here we go. Buy or sell first. I put buying first, the pros and cons, selling first, the pros and cons, and I'll run you through that. So buying first. The advantage of buying first is you know what you're buying is close to what you want, because you can either take a month to buy or you can take a year to buy, but you've given yourself enough time to look for the right house. Yes, that ticks all the boxes or most of the boxes. I'll buy that one. So that's the advantage of buying first. The disadvantage though of buying first is you don't know your exact budget. Okay, so you could have more, you could have less. So you could have less, so you might buy something and end up not having enough money to pay for it or having to borrow more, and that just ruins the lifestyle that you have because you can't go out to the movies, you can't go out to dinner. And buying this house was the whole purpose, to have a great lifestyle. So that's the advantage of buying first. Also, the disadvantage, I should say, the other thing is, so everyone looks at it in just that element that you might not have enough money, but it could be the other way around. You could see two houses and this one you like more, but you end up buying this one just because it's safer and you haven't sold your house. But really, you sell your house and then you realise, oh, I could have bought this one and this really was my dream home. I just didn't want to buy it because I wasn't sure whether or not my house was going to sell for the premium price that I wanted. So you don't know your exact budget, so you don't have strength in negotiation, you don't have strength in an auction, and you don't know whether or not you can buy the better home that you really want. The other disadvantage of it is you may pressure yourself. Okay, so if someone's has bought a home and they've got an X day settlement, say 60-day settlement, they might pressure themselves to sell a little bit earlier just to either have no bridging or just to minimise the time that they bridge their finance. So buy first, the advantage is that you know what you're getting is close to perfect. The disadvantage is you don't know your exact budget and you might you might pressure yourself to sell for less. Okay. Now, selling first. The advantage of selling first is you can wait for your price if you want to. So there's nothing forcing you to sell. Okay. You know your exact budget when it comes time to buy. So when it comes to an auction, you know how high you can go, or in private sale negotiations, you know what strategies. You can actually plan it all out and have full clarity and understanding of where you're sitting. So it just helps you really strategize a lot better. The disadvantage though is you might buy something that you're not 100% happy with just for the sake of falling in with the right settlement date. Okay. So that's of course if you've got nowhere to go, if you don't have friends, family, or you're if you're not open-minded to rent. Okay, so that's the disadvantage of selling. You might pressure yourself to buy something that you're not 100% with. Most cases that isn't the case though. Most people either will have friends or family, mostly family, or they're willing to rent. Okay, so that's why I think the selling disadvantage isn't as bad as the disadvantage of buying first, and that's how I explain it to the owners. I think the pros outweigh the pros here, and the cons aren't as severe as here. And then I say to an owner, either way, what you want to do is you want to have a long settlement, whether you buy first or sell first, and that just gives you enough time to dovetail everything through. I also say if you choose to go down my suggestion, which is sell first, if you choose to go down that avenue, my suggestion is to actually do what's called do it in parallel or do it in sync. So what actually happens is you don't just sell a house and then once it's sold, then you buy a house. You actually do them together. So what actually happens is this is buying and this is selling. So you put your property up for sale, it's going, and you're also searching, but you haven't bought. Okay, so they're both going along at the same time. Then what happens, you see something you like, but you don't buy it. You see another thing that you like, you don't buy it. You see another thing that you like, but you don't buy it. And you keep on going, bang, you've sold here. Then once you've sold, it's unconditional, you've got the deposit there, you know that it's a clean sale, you go back to these three houses that you've put as a favourite, and you go, okay, which one's still available? This one's gone and there's only two left, and then you start negotiating on them. So it's a matter of not so much doing one before the other, but it's doing them at the same time. Okay, and to do them at the same time, you do need to put it on the market first. So it's not a question of do I buy first or sell first. It's a matter of put it on the market, then do them both at the same time. Find the properties that you want, get an unconditional sale, then attack them. That's the safest way to do it. Michael Choi, McDonald Real Estate. Enjoy. Cheers.